What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Talkin Baseball voicemail episode. We got some calls. Padres and White Sox are hot. Right now, it's Jake and Trev. Scary. Let's do it. What is going on, everybody? Is that Jake? You know it. You know it is. Right now, it's Jake, Trev, and
Don't
Big
turn
Baby.
it off. Don't turn it off, please. Keep it going.
Big Baby David behind the dish. JOMBOY should be joining us late. We'll see. We're full disclosure here. He's on a call with some lawyers, so hopefully he's not going to jail. We'll find out. No, we're all good. He'll probably hop in a little bit. But Trev, they kind of, what is this? This is like the baseball coaches. All the coaches are out. Self-run practice.
I kind of like that.
It's kind of nice.
Let me write the lineup.
Yeah.
I'm gonna manage and play. Love it.
Did the Twins ever do like fun days like that? Last game of the season, get a little funky, have some fun out there?
It happened quite often with us because usually we were out of the race come the end of September. But yeah, man, we had some fun, getting guys to play different positions. Kind of like what we're doing here. The host.
Yeah.
Talking baseball. Jake Story-Alley.
God, so nervous. Never been this nervous in my life. Big Baby David, are you okay? I know you've got some nerves over there.
A little bit. First time I have to be in charge of the Bluetooth stuff.
Oh,
so
man.
Hitting some extra buttons today.
Okay. Well,
How about the day we've had already? And how about the day we've had so far?
Yeah.
Scheduling issues, link issues, and now lawyer issues. We're probably done as a company.
and would you look at this as we're about to get into the first voicemail brought to you by Roosevelt's. We're live in the Roosevelt studio, RSVLTS. The great Jombino has returned to his chair. We almost got there, Trev.
Usually I would say that's a good thing. Some law and order is coming. But today, the way Jim's been acting,
Yeah.
I think this might just go off the rails.
This is kind of like the inmates were running the prison, and then they let the Joker in.
He's on one
Yeah.
today.
Well, hello, everyone. Muted my mic. Just kicking me off. Anyway, how's everyone doing?
Great.
Great.
You didn't even get to a voicemail yet?
We had a little bit of a technical difficulty. We played scared for a minute. Now we're here. So if you're ready.
Let's just go straight into it. I got him, BBD.
Yeah, but I'm
Bring
connected
us back,
to the Bluetooth.
Jim.
Oh, okay. You play the voicemail then.
Hi guys, it's Liam. I'm phoning from Falkirk, Scotland. I'm a big Mets fan. I just wanted to give a quick call and say, great work guys. I love everything you do, including, your last in the past. And I just wanted to ask, how come no one's talking about deGrom? Like, I understand he had the neck stiffness, but, he's hitting over 100 now on the gun, and he's still as dominant as ever. Do you guys reckon he'll win the third Cy Young, like back to back to back? So, take care, guys. Be safe. Bye.
All right. Well, this guy DM'd me and said he loved our stuff, and he said, I called in. I hope BBD uses it. I'm from Scotland. And I said, well, BBD's got to use that if you're from Scotland. What was his name? I'm going to listen to the name again. Oh, you have it. Sorry.
Hi, guys. It's Liam. I'm phoning from Falkirk, Scotland.
Liam. It's a great point, Liam. But it's also deGrom is so good, and sometimes so good pitchers can get boring when their so goodness is like a speck of gold in a pile of shit. It's like, oh yeah, there's that speck of gold. Well, it's still there. We haven't got it out of the shit pile yet? Nah.
What's the shit pile here?
The Metsy Mets.
Ah.
Like deGrom's pitching today. He'll probably strike out 10 and go 7 innings and give up 1 earned run, and the Mets will win.
Maybe.
And then they're bad again. It's
You know what it's like?
Trout.
Yeah, Trout. It's a good example, too. It's like sunsets. Like you see sunsets online, a bunch of pictures, highlights, if you will, and you're like, oh, it's a sunset. You see it in
I'm
person.
a sunset. Oh, okay. I like
See it in
that.
person, it's a little different. If you saw deGrom in person, you'd be like, oh my God, obviously there's Jacob deGrom. But you just keep seeing the same thing over and over again. It's beautiful. But man, I don't know. You just get fatigued, I guess. You have deGrom fatigue. He's so good.
I'm not fatigued. It's just like it's Trout in a way. It's he's better than everyone he faces, and I want to see him in the playoffs, but we
Yes.
won't.
And that I think that was it the original Cy Young year where they just couldn't win games, and it was the big controversy: a pitcher not winning games could win the Cy Young. Blah blah blah. I don't know. It's just become kind of unfortunate. The Mets lost both ends of a doubleheader yesterday to the Marlins, so now deGrom's out there to try to salvage the series. If they don't get it, which they very well could, and it's not on deGrom, the Mets season is falling apart. Like, there's no reason to be excited about the Mets right now, and that falls on deGrom.
I'm looking at his Cy Young year. He had 10 wins.
Yeah.
And then 11.
And then 11. Also, I don't know if this is an ad for Baseball Reference or it's against them. Using Baseball Reference when you don't pay for it is the biggest headache. They've put too many ads. It's unusable, and it makes me so mad. And they log me out sometimes, and it pisses me off. So there's a little side rant. deGrom's so good. I mean, he hasn't had an ERA over 3 since 2017.
Last 69 starts, BBD, nice. 2.04 ERA.
It's pretty good.
2.04. That's nuts. That's over the past 3 seasons now. It has gotten boring that it's so good. Unless he was on a playoff team and we'd say, this is incredible.
Well, yeah.
Or they were
playoff
winning,
teams.
like Cole with the Astros last year. He won 16 in a row. It was like, holy shit.
They went to the World Series. Game 7.
Rob Dobson said something rude in the patron chat.
No.
He said, pitchers are irrelevant until they crack imaginary beers after giving up 4 runs.
Rob Dobson. What are you talking about?
I don't know who he's talking about. But,
Boomer Wells.
yeah. Good question. Why doesn't deGrom get more love? I think he got 2 years of, the most love you can give a pitcher. And then we all just kind of sank in our seats and was like, okay, well, he's going to keep doing that.
Is he kind of good looking too, right? He is. He's got good hair.
Not bad looking.
And he's in New York. And yeah, it's
You
guys would know better than I do. How is he in New York? He's obviously heralded, but
he needs to either be a little hotter or a little uglier.
I don't think he is star, commercial on billboard star, which I think he could and should be.
he probably doesn't want to.
Nobody in baseball is. That's the problem.
Judge is.
But David Ross has a
I'm saying
Jim Beam
Judge is all
commercial.
over billboards right now.
Why does David Ross have commercials and deGrom doesn't?
Better
David Ross wants
representation.
to market himself.
Yeah.
Two-time
He hired
Cy
a good.
Young
He
winner.
had a good marketing firm.
Coolest thing about deGrom is he started as a shortstop.
Yes, I love the catchers converting, shortstop. Shortstop converting is awesome.
You think you're a better shortstop than him?
Yeah, I mean, I made it to the show.
Yeah.
Defensively.
Yeah, I made it to the show.
What if deGrom's really good at short? He just couldn't hit.
I don't judge the bushes, bro. It's not who I am. I'm a baseball snob.
I don't judge the bushes.
Bro. It's a good quote, Trev. I like that quote.
Show him your shirt,
I
Trev.
told you. I told
Trev,
you, Jake.
Trev broed out for me today.
What's the shirt? You got the Trojans hat. What's the shirt you got on? Suh, dude. Nice.
Trojan hat.
It's I needed to change my vibe up from this morning. I was getting to. I think I was a little angry, Trev, this morning. So I broed out.
Is Suh dude from Simi Valley Boys, Jimmy Tatro and that gang? Didn't
I
they
think one of the
start-
guys had it before. One of the guys that's actually on the show had it.
That's what I'm saying. He
was-
started it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we met Jimmy
guess.
Tatro. He had a huge
did.
apple right in our face, size of Jake's head. What's the next voicemail?
Big apple.
Hey, it's James in Minnesota, originally from the UK, and I'm just wondering about player development. I was looking at the Twins 60-man roster, and I saw that those not on the 40-man, there's only about 6 under 25, and I just wonder if we're actually at risk of kind of having a bit of a lost generation in baseball who have lost this whole year of development time. I don't know whether anyone not on that alternate training site roster is going to be at the spring training sites, or whether even not playing regular baseball can even develop you in that way. Be interested to see what all you guys have to say. Jake sucks. Peace.
I mean, what's going on? We just global? Are we a global podcast? We got people on the other side of the pond knowing
really
that Jake sucks?
I really liked his question.
Where was this guy from?
He's from Minnesota.
Hey, it's James in Minnesota, originally from the UK. And
in Minnesota.
Not from Minnesota. We did a whole long episode on this when they were contracting the minor leagues, and we talked about this at length. And then, over the course when we were a labor dispute pod, we gave a lot of time to this. But that was 6 months ago or so now. So yes, there is lost development. Like, it doesn't just hit major leagues. It's not that we don't have AA and AAA and single A. We also don't have kids playing college baseball. We didn't have kids playing their senior year of high school. They didn't get drafted to go to the minor leagues. The JUCOs may have tons of guys now. So, but it's also not baseball. It's just kind of sports in general. The professional level of baseball is different, but when you take it to the youth level, that's like everywhere. Whole world took off sports for a little bit. My cousin's playing now. The minor leagues get hit bad, and it sucks. Like, I don't know. Have we even heard stories from like minor leaguers? Like,
I got guys reaching out to me wanting to hit. They don't have a lot of options here. I mean, your options are to find a facility and work out and hit in the cage. You probably find live ABs on a backfield somewhere. If you have a buddy that's trying to throw bullpens, you can stand in. All that stuff, but you can't replicate, the 400 or 500 plate appearances these guys are going to miss, and you need that. You need a set amount of plate appearances for most people. And I've heard that number 2,000, 2,500, something like that. Obviously, there's guys that get to the big leagues faster without that, but it's going to be tough.
So during the break, Jake, we heard about Cressy's underground baseball league with Scherzer and Stanton. Was Giolito there? I forget. There was a lot of guys there, and they played underground games. They organized games. They played against each other. Do you think there's somewhere, like in L.A., all these minor league guys? But, like, I'm saying, like, organized. Like, Team Blue versus Team Red today.
No.
Team Blue's won the last 4.
I wouldn't say that organized. I mean, I think
better names.
I think
probably.
Baseball players are finding a way to get together. Like Trev was saying, if you got one guy that can throw and one guy that likes to swing the bat, I mean, you got something. So I think there's a lot of that going on. And the other thing is, life gives you apples, shove 'em up your butt. But there's all of these training facilities now in places like that where, hey, if you're a guy, and unfortunately, like, this probably links into, baseball's problem with integrating better, but there's a lot of these facilities now where you can still go in and pay to hit, and they can, get your bat speed, get your exit velo. Guys can still train hard and get better. Like, it's not like there's just going to be a missing generation of ball players. At some point, some guys are going to get older and younger guys are going to come up, and I just think it's opportunity for dudes. Like, go get it. At some point, we're going to be playing baseball again. And, either get your velo up if you're a pitcher, work on your spin rate, throw into the barn, Kerry Wood style, So I don't know. I think there's opportunities out there. It sucks. I mean, again, we always jump to Yankees prospects. A guy we've heard about forever is Estevan Florial. Supposed to be super toolsy, a five-tool talent. Hasn't been able to play a lot of minor league games due to injury. He's 22, 23 now. He's at the 60-man site. I mean, is he getting better every day playing those 60-man site games? I don't even know. So I don't know. I just think it kind of becomes a personal thing. How hard are you going to train? What are you going to work on getting better? And then after all this is done, eventually you do have to do it in a game.
If I was in this position, I would try to find as many live ABs as I could. They're probably hard to come by. There's definitely some sort of organized groups getting together at these different facilities. There's a big one. It used to be the IMG facility in Florida. I think Boris might even own it now. And so there's definitely that stuff going on. What's really interesting, and you kind of brought this up, Jake, was that guys are going to be in the lab. And we have all sorts of new technology and trains of thoughts on these processes, these training processes, especially with hitting. What we're going to see next year is a test for all these guys because they're making a ton of money right now. Everyone's watching what these guys are doing. Well, you're going to be in the lab for that long. People are going to go do it, get comfortable with it in the cage. But then guess what? You got to go to the games. So when games do resume, it's going to be like, okay, let's see if this works. Because everybody's going to be doing stuff like this. And we'll see if it works. So this is a big opportunity for these guys. And if they end up winning out and stuff works, we'll see an even quicker progression into that type of training for baseball. But if it doesn't, I think a lot of people will be justified.
It's also affecting trades right now. You think the minor leagues are just going to suck? Like everyone's going to come back next year and all these like all the draft pricks that all the draft picks that just got drafted or like drafted out, all the scouts are just going to be ripping them. These guys we drafted last year suck.
I think bat to ball guys will do well.
You're just going to say, I think you're going to see crazy fluctuation from all that. You're going to hear about the 5th round pick who locked himself in his basement and all he did was lift and try to throw the ball harder, and now he hits a hunch easy, and then you're going to hear, the top prospect who had too many Doritos and now he doesn't look so hot.
You know what you're going to hear? You're going to hear the guy, they ask him, how'd you get your swing? How'd you keep it steady and all that stuff? And they're like, well, my brother played some ball. He couldn't throw hard. He started pitching to me all summer. By the end of the summer, he was hitting 90 on the gun. Now that guy's gets signed.
I started
a lot
watching,
of workout partners going to get signed.
Started watching Sequence with Trevor Plouffe. Now I know how hitters and pitchers think better. It helped me elevate my game.
Mm-hmm. Throw the ball on the roof of the garage. It rolls down. Yeah. It hits the gutter, flips up a tiny bit, and then a little practice swing, Artie Lang style.
Do you want to know what's funny about that is that Joe Mauer in his basement had a contraption just like that called the Joe Mauer Quick Swing. They invented it as kids and ended up turning it into a hitting tool.
Well, Artie Lang invented that on the movie Beer League.
So, and which one was a better hitter, Trev? So,
yeah.
All right, next voicemail.
Hey, JOMBOY. Calling in here from Washington State, big Mariners fan. Feels like Kyle Lewis is having a good year. I don't know how much this will last for. He just seems to strike out a little bit. But one guy I'm excited about is Dylan Moore. Seems to hit the ball hard. He's putting up a decent little season for himself, and no one's really talking about him. Thanks, guys. Keep up the good work.
Jake, aren't you always talking about Dylan Moore?
I can't stop talking about Dylan Moore. Unfortunately, it looks like he went to the IL with a sprained wrist.
Oh, yeah, he's fine, though.
About a week ago, so sorry about that. Sorry if that call brings up some bad memories. I'll talk some Seattle for a little bit. As of right now, they have the second longest win streak in baseball. Their team record still is pretty bad, but I saw Trev, your guy J.P. Crawford, whenever we talk about them, he had a big game the other day.
What is the win streak?
I think 4.
Okay.
It's 4.
So, yeah, okay, I mean, nothing crazy,
when
but
you say second long, you buttered that up pretty nicely.
You got to dress it up, baby. That's all Daddy does. Kyle Lewis has absolutely been raking. Don't get mad at strikeouts. It's not 1974. Kyle Lewis is doing literally everything else. So be excited about Kyle Lewis, and this is what we were telling you about this year. Like, yes, you're not calling up Kelenic and Julio Rodriguez, who's their number 1 prospect. They called up Evan White, who's the guy they paid before he played. He got off to a brutal start. I think he's starting to fight back a little bit. But I think the other bright spot is Austin Nola. Aaron Nola's big bro, who didn't get the call till last year. He's been playing really well. He's kind of locked down the catcher spot for them. He can also play everywhere else. So Kyle Lewis looks like a future piece, and that's what was part of this season. So is J.P. Crawford. Austin Nola feels like the feel-good story. Sorry that you called probably before Dylan Moore got hurt.
Demo. What's Kyle Lewis's story?
You know how I know Kyle Lewis is good?
His numbers? His stats?
Yes, his numbers, but also because people are buying his baseball cards at a rapid pace. That's kind of how I do a prospect watch nowadays. I would tune into Phil's polls and see who people are buying.
Phil's got
Kyle
a video.
Lewis is a guy.
He's got a video coming out soon, so just be on the lookout for that. He just tweeted it. Kyle Lewis is 24 years old. What's his story? He went to Mercer College.
He's 25.
First-round pick.
Well, Baseball Reference says he's 24. Did he just have a birthday?
July 13th.
44 days ago.
July 13th, so that this counts as his 24th year.
It's 24 season.
Baseball Reference has a weird cutoff.
It's a weird system.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
Leading the league in runs, leading the league in batting average, and leading the league in on base. So it's not like he's just swinging and it's getting in play. Like he has an approach at the plate. Former first-round pick. Get excited about him.
I have something to say.
Sure.
And it's going to build off what you said earlier.
Okay.
To the caller, sorry we're not talking about Dylan Moore. He got hurt.
Yeah.
And we're just going to focus on this. Take that strikeouts line out of your sentence when you describe Kyle Lewis. He's leading the league in on-base percentage. Who fucking cares about strikeouts? If those were singles, if those were ground outs to second, would you really care that differently? He's leading the league in on-base percentage.
And he's a center fielder. Like, that's sexy.
It
center
sucks
fielder,
that
they can hit like that.
It sucks that he's coming with, well, but he is striking. Like, no.
Yeah.
Take that out and just brag about him.
Don't care. Yeah.
All right. Next voicemail.
Get Austin Nola to the Phillies so he can. So
Hey,
Aaron
guys,
Nola
this
can
is
throw to him?
Jake.
Yes.
I'm a Cubs fan from Texas, but I actually had a proposed trade. I want to know where Clevenger's going to go if he does go somewhere. I don't think that he would go to the Yankees because I think the Indians have a chance to contend now and that they wouldn't get a contender. So what do you guys think about Atlanta since they need some starting rotation help? Maybe like Clevenger for Ozuna and get a bat in for Cleveland since they need some offensive firepower. Ozuna's on an expiring contract. Just curious, but love the show, guys. Jake sucks. I'm a Jake also, and I also suck.
Yes,
Solidarity. All right, so Clev gets called back up. I think he's the biggest name being talked about traded that won't get traded, but who knows? I've been wrong before, and I don't really speak from a place of authority, but here are my thoughts. Clev's got 2 more years, 2021 and 2022. I don't see them trading him in the middle of the year. If they want to part with him this offseason, he is going to get one of your top prospects. The Yankees' top prospect is probably Clark Schmidt, well, besides the Martian, like almost ready to play. They're not going to trade for need. They're going to trade for top prospect. Like if they trade Clevenger, they're looking at all the 1s and 2s from every team that's offering pieces and making sure they get back a top 1 or 2 prospect from that league. So I don't think the Yankees have enough to offer for Clev. He would bring back a haul. In my opinion.
Is he being talked about as being traded? Like, what's
Only
the
by-
reasoning here?
Dude, because this is...
It's hot because of Bauer last year, and the Indians, can they're one of the few teams that have a strength of pitching, so they can essentially trade from a strong position, not have to pay Clev, and have someone like Tristan McKenzie or Plesac or someone like that fill the void, and then potentially get more affordable talent. So that's where the rumors.
They're just paying him in arbitration, so like it's almost a fixed kind of raise, especially this year. And then you have 2 more years of control. It just doesn't seem like the opportune time to trade him anyway.
I agree. Clevenger's
Like,
really
even
good.
For like another year or 2, or like
Yeah, he's really good. His last 3 years, 2017 to 2019, he has a 1.53 ERA plus and 2.96 ERA. 3 years combined, 74 starts, 2.96. Clev's real good.
I will say this.
He's going to get a haul if you get him for 2 seasons.
if they don't like him, like if there's something within the organization, they're like, nah, man, like we don't like it. Then yeah.
But
I think that was kind of what happened with Bauer a little bit. Obviously he was expiring. He's going to be a free agent, but obviously the infamous throw in Kansas City, I think he was traded a couple days after that.
Yeah, I mean, deadline was around there. But, I mean, the return's just going to be big. If they want to move him, the return would have to be big. And I don't think they're going to trade for needs. They're just going to trade for what's the best value we can get.
And there is an idea around it. Because, I mean, again, it goes back to the Cleveland Indians. Bieber, Carrasco, Savali, Plesac, Plutko. They called up McKenzie. Like, again, they could still fill out a rotation without Clev. So if they could get impact talent now, because right now the infield's stacked, the outfield is weak. They sent down our guy Mercado. He was struggling. So right now, some of their outfield offensive stats are bad. So if you could get a couple impact ready-to-go outfielders, lengthen your lineup, you still got the rotation parts, there's a world where it makes sense. I don't know. But I think the other thing that's funny that's spinning through my head is earlier today we gave the Indians a little bit of credit for calling Clev up before his free agency would extend. If he gets traded, I believe if he goes to another team, they don't have to activate him for 10 days, which would that delay his service time?
No, you would still get that service time, but they have the option to option
send
him again.
Down.
Which would be hilarious.
Welcome to the squad. See you in 5 days.
But even then,
he has the options. So yeah.
So
that's something, right?
I don't know to answer the voicemail. I don't know the top prospects around the league. I don't know who the Braves minor leaguers are. And if they're better than what the Yankees, I don't think can afford them. I don't think their system's deep enough or good enough right now.
Honestly, I kind of like the idea of the Indians trading him for a bat and then bringing in another outfield bat and Pilar, and then just going for it.
Why don't they just bring Puig back?
Yeah,
he hasn't played, man. He hasn't fucking played, dude.
Trev,
born to play. Trev,
born to play.
I believe that, man. But these guys, they want to go. I guess they know they're going to be in the playoffs, so give them 15 games. But
imagine if you did a Puig or Pilar poll to baseball Twitter. Would it come back 90-10?
Well, dude,
I know that's just I'm saying the joke of that would be fan voting, but
yeah.
Why don't they trade for Pilar and JBJ? And then
they want some offense.
No, they don't want offense.
Well.
They want offense.
They don't want offense.
Okay.
No one does.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Pilar doing? Is he? I know he's playing well in center, but
he was hitting some. Wasn't he an under on the the preseason show this year?
He is hitting at the 100 OPS plus though. He's perfectly league average. What was his line?
I forget.
We got to go back and check all that stuff. I had Moose at 255. I know that, and I think he's under that.
He'll get going.
I think they said Pilar was going to hit 270, and I was like, he's never done that.
Yeah.
So he's at 265 right now.
And Moose is hitting 200. On now, Moose.
Come on now, Moose.
I had Goldschmidt. He's hitting 344. Not a big deal.
Nice.
You had him as what?
I think it was 275.
Yeah, it was.
Over?
Some of those were really bad.
It was Pilar over under 270.
So it's the under, and and everyone's saying he's hitting really well.
Yeah, he's
and
been
it's still the under.
Well. He had a hot start.
It's a fishy line.
Fishy.
There's a lot of fishy lines.
Swim in the
ocean.
Hey
guys, my name is Jonathan. I'm calling out of Ventura, California. I'm a Dodgers fan. My question to you guys is, with it being the short season and all, and they're doing the divisions where West only sees West and Central only sees Central. When it comes to playoffs, how big of a deal or big of a factor is it going to be that some of these teams have not seen each other at all because they have not been able to, play other divisions and such. So I don't know if that's a big deal, a big factor or not. And, thanks. Let me know. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you for calling from Ventura. First place you ever dropped acid, Trev?
I've taken mushrooms close to Ventura. Oxnard is the neighboring town. So that was fun.
What?
Oxnard.
I like Ventura. It's a great place.
Me too. This is a great question. Trev, I throw it to you.
Yeah.
My guess is it would help pitchers, like good pitchers, facing a lineup that hasn't seen them yet this season. But I mean, how does this work for you?
I think it's exactly how you said. I was going to kind of keep that to myself until playoffs came around, sprinkled some bets around the league. But the pitching staffs, I feel like, are going to be at a complete advantage come playoff time. I mean, if you see deGrom once, probably going to have a tough time with him. But if you've seen him 4 or 5 times, like, you got a chance. So
at least you have that confidence stepping into the box. Like, I've seen this guy a lot, you know?
I mean, that's just kind of common sense if you think about stepping in a box. You haven't seen what this guy's shape is, you know, how his pitches are breaking, that speed, is it getting on you, all of that.
And yet the Yankees opened up with 3 homers against Ian Anderson yesterday.
Wow. Game happens in a few minutes. Do you think, playing off of that, Plouffe, could you see, because I first jumped to the specialty guys you see in a series, like if you've got a guy that comes in for lefties or righties, you know, by the time game 5, 6, 7 rolls around, you've seen them. They're relievers. They're kind of one-trick ponies. But I then jumped to, like, young guys. Like, if you've seen a veteran pitcher before, even if it's not this season, say it's Tanaka, I don't know. But then you come up against a young guy who's had a solid year, but your team's never seen him. I don't know. You only get 1 game. It could be a 3-game set to start the year. So is that something? I have no idea.
I think that's situational. You know, it depends who the veteran is or who the rookie is. I do think we'll see an influx of young guys in the bullpen. And that kind of happens in the playoffs quite a bit. But I think that, to your point, yeah, like, you know, if you haven't seen someone, you're going to be at a disadvantage. So you get these guys up there here that are young, just throwing cheese. I mean, look at Tristan McKenzie coming up. That guy looks like a difference maker.
All arms and legs.
He just absolutely gassed up Miguel Cabrera.
Yeah.
I know it's 2020 Miguel, but still, like, it's...
How tall is Tristan McKenzie? 6'5"? Plays taller.
Limbs.
Yeah. What's the next voicemail?
Hey, this is Matt calling from Michigan. Detroit Tigers fan here. I don't know if you saw, but my Tigers just beat the Cleveland Indians for the first time since April 2019. So I was just calling to see who you guys think our World Series MVP is going to be when we take home the trophy this year. Thanks, guys.
Austin Romine. Next question.
Do not sleep.
Tigers MVP of the World Series.
Don't sleep on him.
Who's the MVP of the team right now? Jacoby Jones?
I think there's been some good pitching performances.
Spencer Turnbull with the highest WAR, technically. Schoop in second place.
Scope.
I always liked that guy.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's had a couple big years, man. I mean, dude, 2017 in Baltimore, 32 homers, 841 OPS.
Yes.
A little behind-the-scenes info on Scope. He signed one of those deals where he got upfront payment for a portion of his future earnings. Not many people, I mean, people did it, but not many people do that anymore. So it's kind of an interesting little company. So he's not earning a lot of what he's making.
How about that?
Yeah. Similar batters, according to Baseball Reference, Earl Williams.
Oh.
And Rougned Odor. Tough comp. The Baseball Reference page, Jake said this the other day, but like with all the Tigers wearing turtlenecks and hats, and it's just like a row of faces.
Yeah.
It's real. Like it seems like some trick mirror shit. Go to the Tigers Baseball Reference page and just look at all those faces just looking at you.
Just so different.
They're all kind of the same, but different.
We
That's
all
like
came
the scary
from the
thing.
same organisms, man.
Well, it depends on what you believe.
Do
What's
they
the next
have the
question?
worst uniforms in
Ooh.
Major League Baseball.
Jim's a traditionalist.
No.
And the Marlins might. Those Marlins uniforms are really bad. But
what are the Diamondbacks wearing these days? They're always in.
Yeah, those are pretty bad too.
They're always in contention for worst uniforms.
It's the belt loops. We've talked about the belt loops before with Detroit. And then, the mock turtle in the picture. I don't know, man.
Diamondbacks aren't awful. I hate that says D-backs.
Hate.
They're the Diamondbacks.
Hate.
I use that word pretty loosely. I like the Tigers uniforms. I don't like their away uniforms. That's as boring as it gets.
Do you have a least favorite, like off the top of your head?
Jake does.
My brain doesn't interpret stuff like that, so no. Like, I just see a uniform.
The Marlins uniforms, I think, now that I've given it some thought, are probably the worst.
Well, according to InsideHook.com, they have a definitive ranking of all the uniforms, and they have the Cardinals as the one, which
I like the Cardinals uniforms.
I disagree with, because once you notice that the C kind of looks like a snake that the bird is holding in his claws, it's all you can see. And then once you notice that the birds are far more separate than they should be, if you focus on the birds and the C, it becomes a weird uniform. So I'm out on that. A's, I like the A's uniforms. Cubs, I like the Phillies. Dodgers, they have the Tigers as 6, Trev, and this is Inside Hook, and it's official.
I kind of like the Marlins.
They have the Marlins as the worst.
Yeah.
But Jake, that is a uniform you'd like.
Right.
Do you even know that? What's their colors? Tell me what their colors are.
I think that's bad, but I think that you would like it.
That's clean.
What are their colors?
White, orange, and some sort of aqua teal.
The one I'm looking at is white jersey, blue letters with a pink/blue outline on the letters and numbers.
It's just not good.
# fire emojis.
Inside Hook, I agree with them. They have the Rockies and the Diamondbacks as 25 and 26.
Love Inside Hook.
I don't like those.
The Rockies are pretty bad.
It's
too.
all the new teams.
Rockies are bad uniforms.
They're bad.
What's a new team you like?
The Rays whites. I like those. And the Rays white pants, baby blue tops. I like those.
I don't mind the Rangers' new stuff. It's kind of grown on me. Still classic.
Padres were always gross. Now they're better. I like the new Brewers logo, unis.
We need a purple and gold in the big leagues. We don't have a purple and gold.
What's next voicemail?
What's up, JOMBOY, Jake, Trev, BBD? So I just saw the video of Trevor Bauer chugging a fake beer after he made that strikeout, that pass Sonny Gray or whatever. It got me thinking, like, he's been doing all these these cool celebrations, like the Conor McGregor thing. And you think baseball will ever get to like a player first instead of a team first mentality? Like, I know a couple years back when football changed it to where they can do group celebrations, now they have like rankings on which team has the best celebration. It's a cool thing to see. I know a few years ago, like, each team has their own thing. Like, the Yankees had the thumbs down thing a few years ago, and the Nats had like the little baby shark last year. But, like, I want to see more, like, individual, like, player-celebrated celebrations. Do you think baseball will ever get there? All right. Thanks, guys. Love the show. Bye.
A lot of thoughts running through my head. This is kind of what we stumbled upon, but this caller gave it better words. I think that is what Bauer's doing. He's creating Trevor Bauer fans. He's not creating Reds fans, which is fine, but that's not what I like in players. So I said this: if he was a Yankee and he did the beer chug thing and then lost the game and the team lost, like, as a Yankee fan, I'd be much more mad than happy for Trevor Bauer. But maybe it's a good thing that he's creating fans of individual players, because baseball doesn't have that. So those are all my thoughts.
Trev, you played the game.
Yeah, I think I don't have a problem with what he's doing, honestly. You know my take on it. Just continue to do it. You know, if that's your thing, let it be your thing. But, you know, when things aren't going your way, like, continue. Because then it's kind of a bad look. I also think that unlike other sports, and I guess football is, you can't dominate. Like, one player can. I mean, I feel like Lamar Jackson dominated. Patrick Mahomes can dominate a football game. You can't dominate a baseball game or a baseball season with one player. We've seen that with Mike Trout, Jacob deGrom. You know, so I'm all for the celebrations. I don't think it'll become mainstream anytime soon, but as we adopt the bat flips and stuff like that, I'm sure there's some rankings out there of those. I think it'll move on to other defensive plays, strikeouts, stuff like that. And as long as you're doing them for you and not directing them right at somebody and it's not personal, I'm okay with it. I think it's fun.
I think team stuff has already kind of gotten there. Like, if you're a baseball team this year, week 1, you're figuring out what's our thing. And
That's been around forever.
Yeah, and you almost need it as the energy to get through the season. Every time you get a hit, do something fun. And, you know, I think that stuff can spread when it's good. I mean, the Texas Rangers antler thing, like that, they went nuts with that. That was fun. I think they did antlers a couple years before that. Both.
I like the claw. That was fun.
Claw's always good. And, you know, we see stuff in the dugouts. The Padres are dancing this year. Even the Old Men Nationals, you know, were getting weird with it in the dugout, which was a good time. So I think you're seeing more of that.
What about this one?
Yeah.
Closers have had them forever.
That's what I'm saying. I think we need more individual stuff. We were talking on here earlier this week about how Tim Anderson has that cool backpedal home run thing. Mm-hmm. Like, more guys should have their own thing.
Sammy Sosa.
Even if it's like running a little silly around the bases, but think that starts getting into the unwritten rule stuff. Like, did he just do a silly run between second and third? I'm going to put one in his ear. Maybe throw a baseball up there too. So I don't know.
Who's that?
We just need more. We need more guys doing stuff. The Yankees have started to do it more with guys running around third. Giancarlo takes the football handoff if he hits a home run.
Judge does the gavel.
Judge does a gavel. Like, guys should have more of that stuff. Like, have your individual
Soto shuffle in the chat.
Things you do. Like, you know, make your own brand. Yeah,
I like that.
They're around the league. I think Bauer's
Soto
just
shuffle.
been much more vocal about them and brands them and markets it as much as he can. So that's why his is kind of coming out and being like, this is the one.
Wolf Babe got it. The cross was Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
So closers have had it forever. The shooting into thing. Do you remember when? Was that Rodney?
I think it was Rodney. Yeah.
He would shoot it into the sky, and then remember that Johnny Gomes hit like a home run off him, and he unloaded the quiver. Remember, like all the arrows that were in the thing.
That's great.
I was like, that was cool.
That's great content.
Mariano used to just boringly shake Posada's hand after every single close.
Have a boring signature.
And
we're fine with
Posada
that.
had a signature handshake, all fingers spread.
I like that.
Yeah. So, okay, we answered it.
Have fun.
Yeah.
One more call. How many calls do we have left?
This is the last one.
Good. 2 minutes away from game time.
Hey, fellas, how's it going? Just want to say Jake sucks.
Hell yeah.
This is Zach from Dallas. I am a Seattle Mariners fan. It's a kind of a funny story. But anyways, this question is actually for Trevor. I'm kind of curious what it's like being a high school draft choice. You know, being here in Texas, you have a lot of high school athletes who are getting visited by all the college recruiters, and sometimes the school will make it a big deal, and especially when a head coach comes to visit that player. I'm kind of curious to know, were any scouts actually visiting you at school? Anybody involved in those pro organizations? Just kind of how did the process go while you were physically still in high school? Not summer ball with your travel team, just actually during the school year. Thanks, guys, and go M's, but I say that with some sadness, if I'm being honest.
Well, they have the second longest winning streak in all of baseball.
They
so
do.
1, 2. I don't get why you're just asking Trevor this question, but I will let you answer, Trev, because this guy wants you. 3, I think this guy's trying to become a recruiter and wants to know how he does it. There's some kid in his Texas town that's just awesome. He's like, how do I want to be this guy's agent.
All right.
What's
I
it
mean,
like, Trev?
I honestly don't even know where to start. Look, like obviously,
What's
it's a
it
lot
like
different
being
right
a
now.
hot shot, sucking face in the school hallways, hitting home runs?
Prom queen, yeah.
Oh, bag of money to go to USC? Thanks.
All right. Look, I have a unique perspective on this, I guess, because I really was. I'm not trying to like tout whatever. I was one of the higher recruited guys in my draft class because people thought I was going to go to college. Like I was kind of like at the end of the first round. I told people I wasn't going to go unless I went in the first round. So a lot of colleges thought I was going to actually go to college. So I became a top target for them. So I had Stanford come down. I had USC come down. And they had coaches at all my games. And same thing with scouts. You know, I had Billy Bean roll into games, you know, a lot of cross-checkers, teams that were interested in drafting me. So it was a lot, but, you know, I think the main thing if you're talking about a player perspective here is just like don't focus on it. As much as you try to, like just do your thing and try to win games for your team and like
What was the dumbest selling point you had? Like not on the field at all. Like in Friday Night Lights, the fictional town, they're trying to recruit Smash Williams, and the guy from Michigan goes, "You ever play football in the snow? Oh, you got to." And it's like, dude, that's not gonna
No.
make him choose Michigan.
Bad sell.
So what's the worst sell or like the dumbest, most irrelevant sell you got?
I mean, I got to be honest with you. I didn't do a great job with like the whole recruiting thing. I should have went on 5 trips, Miami, LSU, all the fun places. But I knew I wanted to go to USC or Stanford, so I signed with USC and then I took a trip. I had a great time on that trip, but I didn't do it right, man. I'm kind of the wrong guy to be asking.
So you were just you basically came down to baseball and good education or baseball and party, and you went baseball and party.
Funny story. Yeah, those are my 2 choices. Trojans were my first day. Stanford's my second day. But my brother said the same thing. He's like, "Look, what are you going to school for?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Really, what are you going to school for?" So I wanted to go to school to play baseball. And he's like, "Then you have your answer. Like, don't go and have to deal with all that shit at Stanford. Like, go play baseball, where it's probably more of a focus at USC than it is for Stanford, obviously, because it's tough, man."
Academia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SC's not a slouch school, but it's not fucking Stanford.
Academia, my favorite nut.
University of Spoiled Children.
I'm sorry I didn't have a better answer for that. I really wasn't. It was, you know.
I mean, I can make something up.
Kind of cut and dry.
I
had a lot of fucking people at my games. I used to shove it up. You know, I was really good.
I used to go on lunch break during senior year. We'd drive to the Carl's Jr. and I'd open up my trunk to put my bag of fries in there, and there was just a bag of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Why are
never
you
got
putting your
anything
fries in
illegal
the
from
trunk?
USC.
My mom didn't want it to smell. She didn't want the car to smell like fries, so I always put the
Monopoly
fries in the
money.
bag in the trunk.
Love playing Monopoly.
Yeah.
I didn't play the game right. I should have got a bag of money.
You kind of did, Trev.
Worked out.
First round
Well,
pick.
not from USC.
Oh, yeah. Some recruiting
They were
money.
handing out stuff back those days. I could have came up.
Meet the Rat Booster.
Yeah.
Me and Reggie could have just been hanging out at some Hollywood Hills.
Seriously.
Would you have been like in there during that time?
I think so.
That was a pretty fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was a huge selling point for me. Their football team was so freaking good. And while you're a recruit, you get on-field passes. And I was like literally going to all the games just like on the field during that time. Carson Palmer time.
Any baseball players from that like USC team go to the bigs that you would have been teammates with?
Lucas Duda, actually, yeah, he ended up going to USC, and then he had a long career in the show. And I'm trying to think of who else. Not a lot of guys. Not that I can think of off the top of my head.
Cool. All right. I think that's all. Last voicemail. We're done. Thank you guys very much for calling. Appreciate you. Love you. We'll see you Friday on the series recap. Go the ball. Tune into the pregame shows Monday through Friday. They're their own entity in the podcast app, and they're live on Periscope and Facebook and YouTube. And they're a lot of fun.
Know who I think was a USC guy around that time? a Talkin' Baseball favorite, Tommy Malone.
Tommy Mill won. Yes, you're right. Totally forgot about that. I'm sorry, Tommy. I feel like I diss Tommy all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. I really love Tommy,
the show
too.
Is
Like,
a
I really love that guy.
It's a constant diss track.
Huh?
Ian Kennedy, too.
Oh, you would have been teammates with Ian Kennedy.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ian Kennedy. It's a long time ago, man. 2004. It's fucking 16 years ago.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, guys. Outro music starts playing now. We will start whispering. Goodbye. See ya.